but you can't take me. Take away my freedom, take away my reasons. You can take all I love, but you can't take me. The title, the original copy, it actually has a few themes. I guess one of the major ones is me returning to the original version of myself. Because at the end of the day, I feel no matter what I've been through or how many jobs I've had, Peter Coxx is a musician. He's a singer songwriter, and it's also a sense of purpose. Like, I've done a lot of things in my life, and nothing fulfills me or has fulfilled me like going after this project. And I now believe that going through the stuff that I went through, it makes it more memorable, more valuable to me. I would definitely have to say Face to Face was probably the first one on the project. Face to Face, Face to Face is about a long distance relationship, to be honest. I guess at that time I would have just gone through some challenges, both professionally and personally. One of my evening jobs at that point in time, I was actually a waiter. So I go into work and my supervisor says, "Hey Pete, that table there, that's yours," and it's a big table. I say, a big table meaning at least maybe 10 people. So I go over there. They're 10 beautiful girls, and I do my thing. I get to the last person, and that sparked the beginning of a long distance relationship. Face to Face was one of those songs that I didn't really write. It came straight out of me. It was pretty much a day where I was at home under my breadfruit tree as usual, me and my acoustic guitar, and I pretty much was reminiscing about that relationship and how I felt at that time. So I didn't look for chords or anything like that, or I didn't reach for words. I just was jamming, it was vibing, and everything came straight out of me. After that, I took it to my boy Sean Warren. Actually, before that, I actually tried to record it a couple times, but I was met with some challenges, and Sean, being my brethren and being aware of my challenges, he was like, you know what, let's take a shot at producing and making this record. So I went over, I put down my guitar, and I think in a day or two, he came back with a whole different vibe, a whole different feeling, and we went for it, and it was great. You know what I mean? I also have to shout out to Mr. Morris, Ronnie Morris, on that one, Gold Coast Records. We recorded that one basically in between two spots, that location and by Paul as well.
So who's Sean Warren? Sean Warren is an artist / producer straight out of Silver Hill, Barbados. When I first met Peter, that was, let me see, it was 2005, 4, about that. They had this annual pageant that me at the time, I would go with other people that were in my group. We had a group named called Taboo Crew. You know what I'm saying? And we had different artists within that group. So we had a gig we used to do basically annually at the Queen's College pageant. And here was 4 to 5 guys on the stage blowing away the audience of obviously females, because we don't know everybody from a super fly tip. and Peter Coxx was one of them. The way how he stood out, like, I ain't gonna lie, at that point in time, like, the crowd went crazy, you know? They brought a good show, and so me doing my thing and I listening at the time, I was like, so the first initial me seeing these people is like, yeah, who's these men? These men sound good, boy, boom, 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 X, Y, Z. So it's only after that, like, we started to talk and interact more, and then for some reason, we didn't see each other. We didn't really see each other for a little minute, and then we ran back into each other a couple of years later, working at the same place. And from there, for sure, the conversations continued, and the expressions and the music started to mesh, so to speak. So face to face. Peter basically was telling me about an experience he had with a relationship, basically. So when he played these drums, I like what you heard. I started to play it back in my head a couple times. So if you listen carefully, you will hear they have a bass guitar basically in the background. So I wanted to get that feel of the bass guitar following Peter's acoustic at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I started off with that. That's what really gave me the drive. Then I added drums basically in the background, and then it came with a little piano and a pad. And I liked the sound of it, so I let him hear it. I called him over, whatever. He already liked the song of it, and that's how Face to Face took flight basically. Fast forward, now we about to do a remix. We got Mimi Glitz, shout out to Mimi Glitz, myself and Peter on the remix, and we got the boy Dangerous in the mix.
Take away my dreams. You can take all I love, but you can't take me. Take away my freedom. Take away my vision. You can take all I love, but you can't take me.
Sunlight, like I said before, it came from a real place, a real emotion, an experience that I was going through at that point in time. I was actually fortunate enough to have my brethren with me, Sean One, at that point in time, you know, my brethren, my real friend. I guess I was at a place where I felt like I was in a difficult place. I was fighting for my life, or so I thought. I felt like my sunlight was taken away. That definitely was faced with darkness, and again, all the theme of the original copy. So rather than dwell in that darkness, I decided, to try to do something about it and be about my purpose. After that emotion, I went through that emotion, and I actually got the first lyric I had in the song was, take away my sunlight, take away my dreams. You can take all I love, but you can't take me. I took it to Sean, and it was real easy for him to write because he was at that place mentally. And that song came about years after the experience, because after the experience, me and Sean, we kind of separated for a while. We kind of separated for a bit, and my mother's passing kind of reunited us. It was weird in the sense that I didn't see him for a very long time. Here I was at my mom's funeral, and my brethren shows up. My brethren, my real friend shows up, So after we reconnected that day, I was able to share experiences with him that I went through after that, and it was a similar thing. So after the lyrics were made, we took it to one producer, and he was great, but the universe didn't align us to complete the project. And then I actually ran into Dwayne, and he also too had heard about the experience, and running into him that day was warm. I didn't feel prejudiced. I didn't feel abandoned or separated. I felt like a human being, and so that's why it was really easy to work with Dwayne, because I was able to share the experience, and he engineered the sound to match my experience. So it sounded like, yeah.
I remember that there. It was Paul Clark. Now bring this group. He told me he got this group because I had fresh out of school. I just left school. I think I was playing with Jegna, or about to play with Jegna. And he was telling me about this young group man that mashing up the school scene, this a cappella group. He said one of the fellas from out by me, Damien. So he told me these 4 fellas. So before I had my studio in my bedroom studio, little setup and thing and blah blah. I had some monitors. I had a decent setup. So these men come around, and I remember it was Damien, the other Damien, Darren, sorry, Ian, Edwards, and you. And I was impressed with Ian and Peter's voice. But then the song that Infinity recorded I remember that went down so easy, like, and I remember that was my first also, we would say R&B recording. I even went and put a solo on it. And then years passed, I went touring and stuff, so I didn't see Peter for years. And we would bump into each other 1 or 2 times. But I would always be telling Peter, yo, Peter, you gotta come and check me. Yo, Peter, you come and check me. I seen the gas station, yo, Pete, you gotta come and check me. Yo, Pete, you gotta come and check me. Yo, Pete, you gotta come and check me. Then one day, she come and check me. And it was just trying to figure out where he was as an artist, where he wanted to go. I like big time. I like short time. I used to find like artists in Barbados never used to be about the short time feel. I always like to be on the artistic feel, which is just, to me, boring. So I was glad he come, because I get to do my stuff, fuse it with his stuff, and it working like a mother. I think I had asked him for a demo, because I always asked for demos. I think he had played the guitar and sang and left the stuff with me. And he was explaining how, it was an experience that he had, where the lyrics had come from, and how he was so close with this song, and so I had to pay it some attention. I didn't like the minor chords so much. I think it was giving me a little depressed vibe, so I tried to switch it up to some major chords. And I start with I flip the chords a little bit, pop some drums in there, then went for the bass. It was a wrap.
In general, Peter's creative process is a bit different. So you have to understand the artistry before it reaches its final place. So with Sunlight, it came. Well, first of all, this song had so many transitions. It started out one way, and it turned into something totally different. Obviously, it started with him bringing the idea to me on the guitar, and he was like, I was trying to get this track finish. It's called Sunlight. Tell me what you think of it. But this track was basically more personal, because it so happens that me and him experience the same exact thing that would bring about the writing of this track. We first ended up taking a beat from another producer, and we started off with that process with the producer, and we liked how it was sounding. We thought actually something was missing. We wasn't sure. Peter told me that he ran into Dangerous at XYZ, and he was asked to come into the studio, so he wanted me to go with him. So I went with him. And that night, Pete explained to him basically the ins and outs of the song, and he started to go on the keyboard, doing his thing basically, and it started to come together. He did like a skeleton of the track, which is basically something basic: keys, drums, something to get the groove going, and we went in on the microphone. Peter went first, did his thing. Then I went second, and then we started to come up with the second part, which you will hear in the song, the Can't Take, Can't Take, Can't Take. That was added a little later, and it pieced together well. Like the song at the end, as you can hear it, like it has that breath of fresh air. Like it's very airy when you listen to it. It has an appeal. So that was the end result, and we were really pleased with that. Coming around.
Ever Before was also also another real song that I wrote while in quarantine. And you know, we had a lot of time, a bit, so it was checking different styles, and it was actually trying to I was messing around with some blues stuff, and that's how I initially wrote the song on a blues feel. And when I took it to Dwayne, again, that's why I like working with this guy, because like I'm from the Caribbean, you know, so I still want to make my stance as, you know, an artist from the Caribbean. So we were able to swing it back a bit more island pop. But initially it started out something like this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been there before. Had them butterflies before. Had a goody feeling before. Now I'm feeling sure of your lips, girl. I can't get enough, baby. Make me road boy, why I'm for real. Couple that say on me now, baby. She sang granted like Bill. She had a different name, play the same old game. Enough talk, whining a wall. Now you came out of nowhere, baby. How you invade my brain? Never before, never before, never before, yeah, babe. Have I had a love like this? Yeah. So, and of course, that's another one that I was able to talk to my boy Sean, and like I absolutely love working with Sean. Like, you know, he gets me, you know, and we got good history, we got good chemistry when we're in the studio together, either when we're in the studio or when we're working via video call or what's not. Like, I think we can really tap in to each other and complement each other. You know, I guess sometimes I kind of write sweet, for lack of a better word. But you know, my guy, he comes from that more hip hop, you know, more hip hop genre. So together, I think we make a good combination, and yeah, I can see us going a lot further past 2021.
With the knowledge that you have now coming through, what would you tell younger Peter Coxx?
I would tell younger Peter Coxx to stick to your purpose, bro. Stop giving up. You know, keep positive people around you. You have them around you. You just have to know who they are. Be patient with yourself. Work on your weaknesses as much as you work on your strengths. This is Peter Coxx, 2X's, live and direct, who I am. Actually, the album is out. The album came out just around my birthday, 22nd of February 2021. It's doing really good. You guys can get it wherever you're comfortable. It's available on all major platforms. That's Tidal, Apple Music, Spotify. You can even support our local platform here in Barbados, that's Selected Charts. If you can do that, I would really appreciate that too. So many people I need to thank. I need to thank the NCF for coming to salute. You guys believed in me. Thanks to Mr. Ronnie Morris and Gold Coast Records. All my producers that I work with, Sean Warren, Jason, Dwayne Joyce, of course, Corey Ford, my background vocalist, Darren Doyle, the Infinity Boys, Kathian Allman, let's get that one right. Enough love. I don't even need to explain that. My family, my friends, my daughters, Malika and Michaela, you're always in my heart. I don't want to leave anybody out. Raj Paul, salute to you. Body by Frank, my brethren, thank you. My neighbors for putting up with me, practicing that 2-inch in the morning. And my sisters, my brothers, Brooke, mad love, bro. Love the franchise. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out, and if I have left you, it's just because, in the spurring moment. But you know who you are, and you know that how important you are to me. You can find me on Instagram at the Peter Coxx 2 X's. Thank you and take care of yourself.